Okay, so sorry, I've just seen your questions. This is a tricky struggle for words. Okay, the overview saves you time. Okay. Yeah, I get that. Postpone the overview till the end. Okay, that's absolutely fine. It really, really doesn't matter. You're doing pen and paper. Okay. I think, okay, computer basic exam, 100% yes. And I've got exactly this issue with another student at the moment who's taken her paper so often. And she suddenly said to me, oh, I do the paper exam, but I don't write very often on paper. And I'm just wondering if that's the problem. I would 100% go for a computer-based exam, and I would practice. You can find them online, quite a lot of IELTS reading and listenings. Practice doing them online. So just give yourself some intensive practice of reading online, the practice IELTS pages you can find, and get used to that. Take a notebook. I mean, I think you have paper with you in the exam, so just use that paper to write notes for listening. That is okay. Reading, I know, is harder because there's so much text to read, but your writing is excellent and you don't want to jeopardize that. Your writing is really, really good, in my opinion. If you're writing fluently on a computer, make the most of that. That is fantastic. So I would change your strategies on the other two, and yes, do that. I get the idea of the overview. It's no problem. Ben would agree with you. As long as you have one, that's the point. Okay? And check out our web pages. I'll give you a link. There's a lot on Task 1. It's really worth getting into it a bit more. So, data and relative popularity is 7 different. Yep, okay, that's fine. Capital letters for all these in English, always. It can easily be noticed that, with the most popular curricular lessons, that's an adjective there, as they have the biggest share of students. Okay, here we go, amounting to almost half of all popularity indications. So I'm just adding in language. Don't forget, this is not about the maths, it's about the language, and you've got the language, you're good at language. Meanwhile, maths was preferred, it's actually singular, by less than 1/5 of German learners, whereas just above 18%. Now, you mustn't mix fractions and percentages in one sentence. That is really important. You either have one or the other. So I would stick with maths preferred by less than 1/5, while, I wouldn't go whereas, I wouldn't contrast it, I would go while physics also registered a similar proportion, though slightly less. Okay, so I've added in some nice language about that. I'm using a connecting word while, and I've just added some language in there. Then, to finish on that lot, I would put these 4 subjects added up to, or totaled almost, or over, I can't quite remember, 80% of all the votes from students in the given year. Okay, so for me, I quite like that. That basically signals, okay, I've dealt with that. That's the end of that lot. By contrast, considerably less favoured capital. Yeah, since they were less than 1/3. Since they were, you need a verb there. They were chosen less than 1/3, chosen by then less than 1/3 of those who chose gymnastics. Now, it's not just gymnastics. You have to say sport, because PE for us includes all sorts of sport. Okay. The least preferred subject, however, was IT, which was selected by merely, okay. We keep going, which was around 7 times less than the votes. I'm running out of words. The votes, popularity, indications, preferences, or percentage preferences, or proportion of preferences, or something like that. Around 7 times less than for, and then what was the subject I was going to go for? History. It doesn't really matter. But what I'm trying to do here, Mohammed, is link it back. Which is quite nice on this one. You can do it quite easily. So you've dealt with the large ones, you've dealt with the small ones, and then make a nice little connection back up to the beginning. So I've added a lot to your word count, I think. Yeah, 194. Perfectly respectable. Okay? Greatest popularity of small fraction. Yeah, we're inclined to enjoy. Now, it's very important. It's not the subject they chose, it's what they enjoyed. I'm assuming they had to do everything, and this is what they liked. But I hope that helps you. Well done. You're doing great.